Hey, welcome to another episode of Sis Stop Sulking podcast. I am your host, Ms. Tasha Talks Life. Welcome. If you are new here, I want you to grab a hold of your seat. We are going to have an amazing conversation with one of my faves, Nikki. She's been on the show before, so I had to have her come back. If you enjoy the show, share with at least a friend, like, comment. This is going to be a really good show, so.
Hello.
Hey. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah, finally, I've been trying to get you back for a little bit.
Life's been lifing.
You living your
I'm
best
living
life.
my best life, girl. I'm free, y'all.
I love that for you.
How long?
Oh my God! Like I remember.
Yeah.
I always say I remember because we've known each other way like forever. Right? But I remember in our 20s and 30s, you worked.
Work, dog. I can't take over.
Yeah, working. And so to see you here,
man, all I can say is God is good.
Yes,
right?
He is.
Because just thinking about how much time and energy I dedicated to a business that's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for it because it provided, the lifestyle for me and my household. But my goodness, I missed out. But getting it back is so amazing.
And that's something that we always talk about is like self-love and prioritizing yourself. So before we jump in it, I always start each episode with a quote. And this quote says, "How you love yourself is how you teach others how to love you."
That's real.
And what does that mean to you?
To me, I learned this. So I've known Tasha since we've been babies. I'll just say that, right? And for years, she's been coaching me, y'all. I'm the most difficult client, hard-headed, stubborn. No, leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
But for years, you've been telling me, Nikki, you got to take time for yourself, self-care. I'm always encouraging you, but it's like, all right, G, all right. Mm-hmm. But for me right now, it's a feeling like I prayed and asked God for this. And the way things ended up happening was just perfect in His timing. Mm-hmm. And when I say I didn't lose a dime by the moves that I needed to make. So, I always, I'm a giver, a natural giver. And, I would get frustrated that I'm doing this. Not that I can't even help myself, but to give, to be very honest.
Goodness, yeah.
But it wasn't reasonable, the magnitude that I was doing it. And then I'm expecting people to do the madness for me. And sometimes being a little resentful. But then I had to take a step back when everything slowed down for me. And I see that, okay, I need to love myself.
Yeah.
And I am the problem in this whole situation. I'm sitting here being resentful and upset with my husband or my kids or my friends when I was like, chick, you're the problem. You're sitting here saying you want to be treated soft, but every time somebody go to help you, I got it. So I am teaching people how to treat me. And once I realized, like, girl, calm down, stop. It's okay to ask for help. And actually, it's very okay to receive the help without harassing people about it or feeling or showing that I feel a way about it. It was madness.
Yeah.
But once I started doing that, I even noticed my husband treating me like in the soft manner that I wanted to be treated. Yes. I was tickled, girl. So once I got a little bug of that, I'm useless.
Yes.
I need help doing everything. I'm taking help, even with the kids. For years, I'm like, the kids, they didn't have to be here, so I got to do this and that. And it hit me. It really hit me over the year. Like, girl, you have to love on yourself. And you're teaching these kids how to love on themselves. And they're not in lack. It's just you're putting a lot more effort into yourself.
Yes.
And to me, I tell you, my relationship with my children it was good, but it blossomed.
I love that.
Even with my big one, they know you better than that you know yourself. They know trigger words. Without asking, they could get you to do stuff. And when they're used to that, you know, you kind of feel the type of way like you only want me for stuff.
Yeah.
But again, I was a problem. I'm Captain Save, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I stopped. So it just, to me, is boundaries. And you've been preaching boundaries for God knows how long. And when I say I probably caught on a little too good. Block boundary, I'm good over here, love me from over here.
So much peace.
It's the freedom, Tasha.
But you know, the sad part is sometimes you have boundaries with Joe Schmo, but the boundaries that you really need to have sometimes is in your house.
And the ones that you love the most. Yes. And that was the hardest one because you love them and you're just so used to saying yes because you want to help and you want to show them that you love. But in all honesty, you don't need to do all of that.
No, I love what you said about knowing when to ask for help and being okay with asking for help, because it's a hard thing, and I think it stems from some type of childhood trauma somewhere, right? Because if I think about, for me, I remember having to, nobody was coming. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to figure it out. I had not only figured it out for me, but I had to figure it out for my sister.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody was coming. And so in that, I took on being a fixer. Like you mentioned, the ones Captain Save them, right? And then you take that with you, and now you're resentful, like you said, and you're feeling like, you know, you want people to read your mind and they can't. And so when I wrote my book on Sis Stop Sulking, God's Plan is Greater, How to Grow Forward from Pain and Trauma, in there, it talks about just acknowledging where is this stuff coming from? Get into the root of why is things the way they are. Acknowledging it is such a broad word because you can acknowledge the circumstance. You can acknowledge that whatever it was, it is what it is and it happened, and then letting it go, right? So when we talk about asking for help and receiving the help, because I know you well, so I know that's not easy. But what was where was the moment, not necessarily pinpointing the exact moment, but the revelation or the feeling of, today I'm going to release that. I'm going to.
Oddly enough, I actually remember I was sitting down in the kitchen and I said, I am sick of being sick and tired. I am sick of being strong. I am sick of holding it up for folks. And it's not like I don't have support. That's not it. But it's just, I am the fixer. It's all on me. And I'm tired. I didn't want to do it anymore. And emotionally, I couldn't do it anymore. And I knew I couldn't just run away. So I had to, it's pride, you know. A lot of it is pride. And just to touch on what you said, you know, I read the book, you know, it's amazing, right? But in all honesty, just acknowledging these trauma. I tend to, let's keep it pushing. It is what it is. Nothing is going to change. We still got to move forward. And that's been my motto all my life, right? But sometimes I hate, okay, can we be real?
Yeah.
I don't like listening to her podcast, y'all. I don't like listening to this chick podcast. She's so annoying. The reason when I listen to it, I don't listen to it at like my homegirl podcast. I listen to Coach Tasha, and I'm like, yo, I hate this chick because the stuff she says is like, to get your life together. And it's like, I don't want to hear this, right? So I'm the problem.
Right.
I'm calling her like, yo, chick, this, I can't stand it. I cannot stand
but
it.
Yo, and it's stuff that I had to work through. So that's why I turn it around. I'm like, if this is helping me, I'm gonna share this, and I'm gonna
absolutely. Like I was thinking, you know, one of the reasons why I don't ask for help a lot, it's not like, thank God I have good parents, all of that jazz. But I have one of my siblings in another country when we were younger. And that sibling, I love him to death, Shane. Every time he asked for something, he would get it. I asked for something small and $13 doll money. And And I couldn't get Shane got it, and then I started realizing, well, what am I asking for? Because I'm never going to get something. You're going to give me what you want to give me anyway. So instead of letting myself down, I'm going to just go get that myself. And then that evolved into, I'm never going to look like I need something. I don't have to go to somebody for something because I'll sell everything I got. Very extreme personality, y'all. I mean, we know, right? But that's where that stemmed from. And because I love people so much, I'm like, I don't want you to have to do that. So I'm going to fix it. Even if I have to share what I have or sell what I have to give you or help you. So it just snowballed into an unhealthy situation. Now you can't just come ask me like I'm a sucker now.
No, but it's on you, and you always do it, and it's
too much.
Yeah, and it's like, and I love is because it's a pure heart. But I also know that people can take advantage of that, and I also know that that's a trauma response.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And so to acknowledge that, I think a lot of people don't do the work on getting to the bottom of why they act the way they act in certain situations.
Absolutely.
When you really sit still and really seek God to guide you and to reveal to you what, I don't know, I'm feeling emotional today, and but when you really sit and seek him and ask him, and I'm not saying every time you sit down you're asking for something, because he does know our hearts, and more importantly we need to be grateful and express that, but he is going to reveal to you.
Now, do we want to acknowledge we heard?
Well, that's part of it, right? Acknowledgement versus amnesia is when you sit and you ask for revelation, and when you're asking with the pure heart on what's the next step, or why am I this way, or I don't desire to be like this because I know that it's trauma, or I know that it's not healthy. Help me to, and you sit with it, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I promise, I believe he's going to start to show you brick by bit.
It's facts. It is absolutely, and we've shared stories.
Countless.
Way like I remember I was telling you years ago. I'm talking years before most of the kids, right? They I was dating this boy, and I'm like, God, is he good for me? And God told me the same old. No, he's not. No, I don't hear it.
Give me a five.
How many times
give me another one? No, I need one more.
5. All right, God, I see it now.
Right.
The word telling me is. Are you in the space to receive it?
Right. And if you're not, that lesson is going to show up time and time until you do get it. It's just going to be in a different form. Yeah. So if it's a type of guy that you're attracting, he's just going to show up wearing different pants.
Yep.
If it's a job where you're not being valued and you just won't get it, it's going to be another job that, it's going to keep showing up. So yeah. Right. But no, so this girl has been outside, y'all. She's been outside. And I love that for you. Like, I'm not in the outside season currently because I'm literally I'm hitting the pavement. I'm building and I'm doing a lot of things. And I know my self-care could be expensive and extreme. But I'm in a season of I'm building something and I'm pouring back into the brand and the business and things like that. So I do get my self-care in nature. And sidebar before I get on you, nature is like a charger to me.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Girl, the water for me, I'll stand there and cry.
It's so freeing. Like, it's a charger for me. Like, just going outside and taking off my shoes and just being on the ground, sitting in the chair and just listening to the wind or the birds, or it's just, I crave it.
Yeah.
I literally crave it.
It charges you up.
It really does. Absolutely. And it makes it, and it's almost like, and I was talking to my friend Janelle, and we both share that in common, how she loves nature and everything like that. And she was saying how it's almost like God is like, when she's in the sun, God is kissing her.
I believe that. When I went to St. Martin and I hit the water for the first time, I wasn't looking towards the sand. I looked out, and when I said tears, I just felt like okay, God just hugged me with the water and I could keep going. I'm gonna be okay. And it might sound a little dramatic, but it really isn't. So being outside is like you're in the middle of God's bosom.
Yes. And that's we could think about it though. Isn't that where it all started?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I think I was talking to you on the phone and I had like a major epiphany. And in that moment, and again, I know what I say these days, but some people may be like, that's dramatic, like you just said, or we're it's blazing hot outside, and I'm talking to you on the phone, and I had this big epiphany, and I was like, "Oh God, it's so good." There's a big wind just came.
It was
and I just was like, "God is hugging me right now and confirming me and affirming me."
God is so good. Listen, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but we tell each other good, bad, and different. No judgment. We'll check each other.
Yeah, for sure.
But the awesomeness of God, if you don't know the peace, remember that peace we hear in church all the time, God's peace, God's grace. When you finally feel the peace, I don't tell me. Oh my God! I'm like, and I'm never gonna give it up. If you disturb my peace, I'm out. Like, God bless someone over there, my G, not playing with me.
Like, you want to seek it more.
Like, it's a drug.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
And I want to just be clear that when we're talking about peace, right? We're not saying that everything is good. We're not saying that you're not going through. You are literally in the middle of a battlefield.
Yes, child.
Going to war, and God will send peace. Because guess what? At that moment, He is fighting for you.
Because you can't fight it. You have to let go. And it's the control aspect. I don't know. I'm recovering. Control freak, right? And when we allow God, when you stand still and you trust and it's like, my rider's coming. I can't do it. So let me just sit here and be like, my homeboy got it. And guess what? Every time he hits,
no question.
Where you're just, it's just you're in awe. And for that I'm not a fool. I've never been a fool. Stubborn, yes, not a fool. So when I learn and I see this is the pattern, what we gonna do? I just retort. The enemy is trying to attack. So people sit there and look and go, you go here, there. That's great. And you probably could not stand where I'm standing right now. But I know God's mercy and grace, and I know God's favor, and I know God is a deliverer.
No, come on.
So what am I going to sit here? You get shook up. Don't get me wrong.
For sure, but it's only for Ty Tripp.
Get yourself together.
Only one night though.
It's about 10 minutes and we got straight.
No, because we're human.
Yeah.
And we have human emotions. And not only that, but we need to release those emotions.
It's helped.
Right?
That's always been my issue.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And for me, I'm gonna release. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get mine
now because put it together.
And then let God do what He does. And so in loving yourself and seeking God and pursuing the peace, it shows other people how to treat you, how to love you, how to bring that peace to you.
And not just the folks in your house, people watching, right? We're always on display, good, bad, or indifferent, right? So the word tells you, I hate to turn it into this, but the word tells you there's an order, right? God, yourself, if you're married, your spouse, then your children and everybody else. I know I'll speak the truth. I have not been doing that. It was God, I think, right? Then the kids and the husband, and then my homegirl if need be, and then me at the end. That's not God's order. So when it hit me, I said, all right, chick, let's do this the right way because you're losing right now. And I did God and me. I'm telling you, I've been good friends with my husband. But the relationship, that's my homeboy.
Yeah.
Like, it is just, I'm in awe. I didn't think he could get that good. And it blows my mind. And then with my children.
it's all about being aligned with the word, and that's why.
And he blesses you because of it.
Yes. If you're out of line, if you're out of alignment or out of order, you cannot receive because it's biblical, right? And then also with being out of alignment or being someone that you are not, or pretending to be someone you are not, or a facade or whatever, God is looking to bless you. So when you're pretending to be someone else, or you can't get what God has for you.
You're wasting
and
time.
So that's where it comes with being authentically you and showing up as that no matter what you're going through.
Absolutely.
And I believe that my relationship was shooken up because I was out of order too. I believe that. And when in my solitude for those 2 years, getting really, really close, I thought I was close to God then. I thought I was close to God before, right?
Yeah.
But when he was the only one that like could really comfort me, can really lift me up, like I am so in love.
I'm laughing because it's so real, Tasha, and we're just hard-headed children. That's what we all are, because we put ourselves through these things for no reason. But he's so merciful, he'll still bless us in our mess.
Yes.
Yo, remember when, I'm not gonna go into this, when I was some trash to certain people, right? And I felt the end of the world. I ain't talking about my husband, but I ain't gonna say who I was talking about. And the Lord put me, I used to say, and I don't know if you recall when we were younger, never leave me, always.
Yeah.
And I was in my pity party, broken. And God, in the back of that church, whispered and said to me, I thought you said such and such was the only one. The shame, y'all. I sat up in that chair and I said, and I repented.
Yeah.
And things, no lie, it wasn't, I think that whole drama ended was in 6 months. And I'm like, God, you just showed me the order matters.
It does.
We're out here, well, I'll speak for myself, worshiping without realizing other folks.
Yeah.
Putting them before Christ.
Very true.
And riding through the storm for no reason because you bugging.
Right. Yeah. And so in that, and what I pray for is to remain or remember, right? Who was there.
Yeah.
And that he always, and the crazy part is he's continuing to show me. So it's not even far and few between where he's shown me, I've got you.
It's constant.
Because now I am pursuing the alignment and I'm pursuing the order in which God has laid things out. So now the blessings and the revelations are frequent.
Yeah.
And I am like, the words, I can't even, and we've said multiple times. Yeah. We've said like, just amazed. And I'm just like, okay, God, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like,
I'm following. He show up more for us than we show up for ourselves. Tasha. That was wild.
I'm
if
sorry.
Y'all sit here and think about it, y'all.
Listen, okay, if you can relate, if you understand the God that we serve and who we're talking about, I'm gonna need you to go to the comments, give me an amen, share your story or whatever, a scripture, whatever it is, because it's important. I know that I'm not alone, but it's important to share.
Yes.
So that others can see the light, right?
And encourage others.
Something I want to ask you is, what is your go-to self-care? What is something that you seek to do regularly to refuel yourself?
Okay. I have to say two. One, I can't afford to do as often, but to travel. I'm all the way in with that, experience life, and just, I need a beach.
Yeah.
A nice beach. The water is so rejuvenating for me. But isolation.
Well, maybe call it solitude.
Solitude. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. Solitude. Just to sit there and reflect on myself, check myself.
Where is this? Where do you do this?
Oh, in my kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Right at the table.
And just be by yourself.
Yeah. the quietness, and then it's me and my thoughts. And my mind, all types of things run through it. Some are healthy, some are not, but I'm at the point where when it's not healthy, I review that. Right? I acknowledge it. I'll even laugh at it like shit crazy. But I will sit there and just think, envision where I see myself, envision where I see my children. I spend time with myself, having conversations with myself. And I like it because I came to a realization I really like this.
That's awesome.
But
you're not really by yourself.
Oh, never.
Right.
Oh, no, my homeboy.
Yeah.
Is always here.
And that's where those downloads is coming from.
Yeah.
And that's where, and also those not so pleasant thoughts is where the enemy is trying to steal the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I get those too. And I know it's funny because when I feel when the enemy's saying different or things to me that's negative, I laugh a little bit too, and I rebuke him, and I know that something amazing is about to happen.
And you know, we were talking, and not to get too deep into this, but you know, the enemy knows what to hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? You coming after bills and me and my health or whatever, grown folks, it'll shake, but I've been there, done that. I can keep pushing. But he knows what to attack you with.
Soft spots.
And you had to encourage me the other day. You know, again, we're human, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like every day is like I feel great or whatever. But I do come to my senses very regularly. But I also have my reluctance right here.
Yes, for sure.
To be like, no, remind me, right? And you get you one. If you don't have this is not a friend. This is a part of my heart. And I always say to you, like, till death do us part. And that's not being odd. That's really, nothing could shake that, right? But you had to remind me, like, there's a plan and the enemy knows that. It sucks because you don't want certain things to happen with certain folks, but it woke me up real quick. Like, you know what? All right, let's fight.
Right.
We was out there cutting up before, so now it's a spiritual fight.
Yep.
So we're praying, and then you have your folks that really, really love you, not say they love you.
Yes.
Really love you. Pray for you.
Wholeheartedly, genuinely, even when I don't have to tell you that I'm praying for you.
No.
It's just what it is.
What you said the other day. Oh, I'm praying for you too, girl. You ain't have to tell
me
that.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
No, and you definitely need a village, a community, a person. And our husbands know. It's so funny, right?
Oh my God.
The other day,
terrible.
we was at a wedding, and it was me, it was her husband, and her. And we're talking, and he's like right here, and I'm like, thank you so much for just understanding. He's like, I know, like, you know, and it's just like, because they understand that there is something unbreakable here.
Absolutely.
And we hold each other
and
down.
Don't try to play yourself into it.
And don't. It's not even.
It's not going to be cute. Talk about, oh, Jesus, it's not going to be cute.
Yeah, right. Look, now we're getting stuck down here, but it's the truth. But no, so, and when I say that I love seeing you, the kids, and everybody, because like you can definitely have time for yourself, right?
Yeah.
But to bring them along and to have them, because they're not grown, but they're big.
Calm down.
They're big.
I know. They ain't that big.
They're
little big kids. Yeah, they're getting big.
They are. Yeah. They're like middle school, high school.
Yeah, Tasha.
Jeez,
I'm almost there.
I think I'm low-key jealous a little bit.
You should have started early. You should have been fresh.
But yeah, no, I like that you know that y'all still bring them along and still have them engaged, because there's a bond that's there, and that's important. And like for me too, I mean, to see you with your girls, because I'm a boy mom, I just love it, and it's so beautiful. So,
but thank you. You know what I told Bishmi when we went to that place the other day? I said, listen, this is, yes, it's for all of us, but there's two separate things going on. It's for, this sounds selfish, it's for me, right?
For sure.
It's definitely for me, but it's also for these kids, because what I desperately want, and I know in my heart they're seeing, is a healthy, I'm going to say, a healthy Black relationship, right? Because that's not what is publicized. And they see us loving on each other talk mad trash, but we're laughing while we're doing it, whatever. And the kids see this, and they now can mimic that in a better relationship, like improve on where we fall short with their families, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm so grateful that I'm in this season that we can afford to do these things. Because seasons change, y'all, and it's okay. Sure. But right now, and they're, oh my goodness, the kids told me because I worked at this place for 23 and a half years, y'all. And in the last year and a half,
she's working since she was 11.
I know. Been having babies since then too. I mean, close. Google. No, it's like Google me. I was like, yeah, be on here, Tasha. You are a hot mess. Hopefully she added to this.
I'm not.
But I don't care. But they're like they feel my presence more. And I'm like, wow, I worked like a dog, literally, and missed out on all those times. But right before they, two of them about to be seniors and in college, I had this opportunity. God blessed me with this opportunity where I could connect. So they're going to remember this more so than when they're 5 and I was sleeping at the job.
Yes.
God is good, man.
Yes. And so, I love it so much. I love you. No, this is so good. And so, I mean, that was a good mic drop. And so now in this episode, I start to, I do the mindset declarations at the end. But now I'm adding in a segment of what would I tell my younger self, because I am, although I'm an accountability life coach, which I help guide you to your dream lifestyle by making simple tweaks to your mind, your body, and your goals, right? Because those are the 3 things that I believe is what gives you the optimum wellness, right? But I also felt like, okay, I'm helping women and my hard work is youth and girls. So I went and got my certification as a social emotional life coach for kids, and so teenagers. And so I want to share what would I tell my younger self, because there are so many things that I am learning now over the past 5 years that I did not, if I would have known this as 19, 18, 25, my niece is 27, what would I say to them? And so I always now want to add this segment of what would I tell myself, younger self, relating to the topic of the episode. So I'll go first, and then you can share what you would tell your younger self. So what I would tell my younger self is to establish a relationship with God. I know that because of my grandmother, because of my father, my mom, God covered me. And I know because of the purpose and the calling that he has on my life, I was covered. But I also know that the moment I sought him out for myself, and I started to align with the more blessings, more revelations, more learning, more growth appeared for myself other than someone covering me. Mm-hmm. So I would say to establish a relationship with God for yourself.
So I would tell my younger self to have the courage to say when something is wrong.
Love it. Whether your feelings, whether it's a school thing, whether it's a personal, whether it's anything, is speaking, having the courage and understanding it's going to be okay to say when something is wrong. I love it. That's good. Did you want to elaborate on that or no?
Why?
Because it feels like you want to give a little.
As I mentioned before, my thought process is keep moving. Don't worry about it. It happened, whatever. But I feel for most of my life, I've been surrounded with a tight-knit family that loves me. And, some incidents has happened while I was a child where, for the life of me, I'm still processing it, but trying to figure out, why didn't I say anything? Right? And let's be real here. At one point, and I still struggle with this one, could it be, did I enjoy it? You know, and that confuses me. Like maybe you did and you're part of, you know, I don't know. But I feel that I wish I'd had the courage to express things. Because it's not like when I think about it, like my parents would have said, I don't believe you. I could have lied on people and my mother was going to town, right? But so that wasn't it. So I just feel like I didn't have the courage.
That's good.
So
no, I just have to stop there for a second, because having the courage, right, is in knowing like it could be so many things why, right? So even from when I think about myself, maybe because kids are seen and not heard back then. Maybe because, you know, that person or that situation was greater than me in my mind.
Yeah.
Or maybe because I didn't want to, you know, make someone sad or mad or whatever.
Yeah.
But just knowing courage means no matter what the outcome may be. And that goes to the topic of putting myself first and my needs first, my desires first, and not to the detriment or to the waste of anybody else, but in what I need and recognizing that, you know. So that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. It took a long time, and even if I'm honest, it's even moments now where I have to force the courage and talk myself up to make the jump, to make the call, make the decision, make the change. So yeah.
And even in this season, right? I know there was a movement, I guess there still is, the Me Too movement. And I know it's just in my own head, but with a lot of things, I don't want to be the Me Too. Meaning jump, and not saying people are jumping on the bandwagon. Some people do, but you know, you could be surrounded by whoever, and we're all talking, and you got that too. When it comes, like, what am I gonna say? Me too. I mean, all y'all, same thing. With my input, it's not gonna change nothing. You know, what is this bringing to the table? And I know that's the enemy, right? But also, you have to be in a safe circle, a safe space, and it's not because you're ashamed. It's just, I don't know if I trust you with I don't even trust myself. Yeah. You know, because if you're still processing it, saying, why did you allow? Yeah. I don't want to say allow it, but why didn't you say anything? Yeah. I'm really thinking like maybe something's inappropriately wrong with me. You know, you get what I'm saying?
No, I get exactly what you're saying. So, I think that that's something to continue to work through, journal through, sit through, seek through, right? But yeah, no, that's good. And I think people get confidence, and we're gonna wrap up, but I think people get confidence and courage mixed up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
You don't have to be you're not always gonna feel confident, but just having the courage to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
Right.
Push forward.
Yeah. So I love that. That was good. Thank you. And so as we end, first of all, anytime you come, it's a vibe. I want to tell you how many people told me that our first episode was their favorite, and I will link it after this episode so you can go check it out. But thank you so much for always showing up for me. Always.
You my N-word.
Oh, I love you so much.
All right.
Yes. So I'm going to end with the mindset declarations for this episode. As you already know, get your pen, your paper, add this to your journal. Look at me, already making it a journal, because we have over 100.
There's a book coming.
And we have over 100. You did. But I'm always cooking in the kitchen. There's 109 episodes. So each episode there's some declarations. So it is a journal by now. So if you're new here, in these episodes, we write down affirmations, because speaking life over yourself, your circumstance, your family, there is power. So in this episode, this one says, I love myself for who I am. I deserve happiness, and I am enough exactly as I am. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. That's good. I think that's good. So yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments. Share this with at least one friend. Like and subscribe so you know when new episodes are dropping. Oh, we have a new time. Episodes are dropping on Tuesdays now. Episodes are dropping on Tuesdays, not Mondays, Tuesdays. And also, ladies, I am hosting the Momentum Masterclass, the Mid-Year Vision Ignite. So if you were at the January Vision Board and Goal Getter Mastermind, we are halfway through the year and we are going to reignite and pick up the momentum to get back rolling, to get back on the bandwagon. If you fell off, it's okay. And to accelerate that momentum if you are still consistent with your goals. So you want to be in the room. MomentumIgnite.com is where you can get more details. It's an early bird special that is ending July 6th. Vending opportunities are still available, and we have some dope speakers that are going to be on the panel. So I'm super excited for it because I think that a lot of times at this time of the year, sometimes the goals, because you don't, you set the goals and you may have achieved it, or you may struggle off, and then sometimes you fall off by the half year. But if you pick up the momentum now, you can close out the year even stronger. And then now you've accelerated that growth. And it's about community. When you have an accountability partner or accountability coach, you're more likely to achieve your goals. And that's statistics. So I want you to be well. Mm-hmm. I want you to have an amazing week. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye. Excuse me. I'm definitely edit this out
because you are pink. You should leave that in.
This is gonna be a blooper.
No, you pull that out on me, Tasha. I'm leaving, and I'm going to the comments. Negro, spit on me, y'all.
Oh, okay.
What do I feel like?
Now I got all this editing to do. You know what?
Whatever. So blue skin and on film. So.